Good evening, everyone. We begin tonight with the abortion debate. It's now up to the full Indiana House on what happens to the Republican-backed abortion ban. The bill cleared a House committee late this afternoon. The committee removed criminal penalties from the bill. It deleted a section that gave the Attorney General the power to prosecute abortion cases. The panel also changed the deadline for rape and incest victims to get an abortion to 10 weeks, regardless of age. Democrats tried to extend the deadline to 20 weeks. The committee chair says that she'd rather have that debate in the full House.
I would like the opportunity, if you'd be willing, to do a second reading amendment so that we could get an idea, even propose even different weeks. I don't have a consensus or an idea at this point. I'm sure we need to digest a lot of what they say.
It's just a little bit hard to know what this body might do on second reading, but there's really no reason to just kind of split the difference and call it 10 weeks. If a 10-year-old child has been raped or inflicted incest upon them and they're pregnant, I don't know why you're going to tell them they only have 10 weeks, one, to figure out they're pregnant, and then two, decide what they want to do about that.
Full House will vote on amendments beginning Thursday morning. A final vote on the bill could come as early as Friday. The Senate would have to decide whether to accept the House's changes. Now, the vote comes after more than 100 people spoke against the bill for more than 8 hours. No one was in favor of it, saying that they either are against it, they go too far, or it doesn't go far enough.
And as a college student, I don't feel safe here, knowing that I could become pregnant against my own will and that I will not be able to access the health care that could one day protect my life and my livelihood. I think it's important to understand that this isn't just about life as a biological human being. This is also about me as an emotional and a social person.
And abortion is the destruction of that human life. How could you ever fight to allow for exceptions to that? Give them that choice, Senator Glick said. Don't foster that evil on them after the evil they've already suffered. I'm sorry, but with respect, that's not evil. That is a child.
Meanwhile, an IUPUI student planning a pro-abortion rally later this month at Military Park. And when they reached out to the state park to give them notice of the planned protest, they were told they would have to pay a fee. News 8's Cody Adams joining us now with more on this story. Cody.
Yeah, Phil, Noah Thomas says when they reached out about the protest and explained what the plan was, they were told they'd have to pay $1,500 to rent green space at the park. White River State Park officials say it was a big misunderstanding, but Noah feels that's not the case.
It wasn't a misunderstanding, that it's our right to gather there.
Noah Thomas, a junior at IUPUI, knows the drill when it comes to holding protests, having done several pro-abortion rights protests over the last couple of months.
Let the park or wherever you're doing it, wherever publicly it is, you let them know, hey, just as a courtesy, we're going to have a protest here. It's going to be peaceful. Just wanted to give you a heads up just in case, something happens, we didn't want to blindside you.
When Noah reached out to the White River State Park about holding a protest at Military Park, he says it was a different situation.
That's our First Amendment right to be there, right? Like if we're on that sidewalk. And she said, yeah, but it's kind of gray area because we need money to upkeep the park. So this sounds like an organized event. And then once I mentioned that politicians were probably going to come out and be there, she said, oh yeah, this is definitely an organized event and we're going to have to charge you $1,500 and for you to rent out a corner of the park.
Noah says he understands the need to charge for park upkeep, but he argues a protest is not the same as other events.
If it was a birthday party or some sort of concert, that's understandable, but this is a protest. This is our First Amendment right as citizens of the United States, rights that we are granted. So it's a little different, and it was very disappointing.
We reached out to the director of outdoor special events at White River State Park, who says they do rent out green space for events, but this was a misunderstanding and the issue has been resolved. But Noah doesn't feel like it was just a misunderstanding.
She's doing her job, and I respect that. Everyone has to do a job in life. And it may have been just a perfect misunderstanding. I don't think it was. She knew it was a protest. I had mentioned it multiple times.
No, it tells me the misunderstanding or not, they will be out at Military Park on August 26th to protest from 4 to 7. Cody Adams, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.